Hello everyone, welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin and today we're going to be reading into the energy, insights, and guidance coming in for your week ahead, as well as some fun new oracle surprises. So let's go ahead and get started. So welcome back to those of you who have joined me on this channel before for each of these Monday week ahead readings. It's lovely to have you guys back. I'm so heartened, my heart is so warm for all the people who have been coming back. I love doing these readings for you. And to those of you who are new, welcome to the channel. It's lovely to have you here. And I do, just so you know, I do sort of fun, magical, creative sort of videos, as well as these week ahead readings and monthly readings and timeless readings. So if you're interested in any of that, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can join this community too. Alright, so I did kind of do a different kind of theme this week. So I'm using these ornate sort of bookmarks that I have in my own collection, as well as using these fun words that I'm going to talk about more in each of your guys' individual readings that I sort of whipped up for this specific theme this week. So that's going to be really fun. I'm really excited for you guys to see how those work, and I'd love to know more of your thoughts when you get to your piles. But the reason why I went for these bookmarks and this sort of fun reading theme is because as you are watching this, at least the specific week that I put it up, because this is still a timeless reading, but the week that I specifically put this up, from July 20th to the 26th of 2020, I'll be participating in a readathon called the Reading Rush. So I'll have information down below if you're interested, but it's a 7-day readathon, all about actual reading, book reading. And I'm going to try to be reading 7 books for that entire week. So I hope you guys enjoy this, because while you guys are enjoying this video, I'm going to be reading my butt off. So that's going to be so much fun. And anyway, before I speak any more on that readathon, because you can see more information on it down below in the description, I'll go ahead and go in depth on each of your guys' specific piles. So for pile 1, you have this specific bookmark. So you would put this in the book, and it's got these little inscriptions sort of with these swirls and these different charms at the top with the bird and the cage. So if this is resonating with you, then this might be the pile for you. Then here for group 2, we have another bird, but it's more of a soaring bird. This one I created in an art class once, actually, and so it's got all these little hammer marks and these fun little beads. So if this is resonating with you, then this might be the pile for you. And lastly, we have this more gold, sort of simple bookmark with the these sort of charms here that have sort of pink and this little ball at the end. So if this is resonating with you, then this might be the pile for you. So those are each of the 3 piles. Let's go ahead and take a breath together so you can make a better decision on which pile is for you. So feel free to choose piles 1, 2, or 3, or you can choose multiple or all 3 of them. There could be, hidden messages within all 3. So feel free to use your intuition and decide which pile is for you or piles are for you. Feel free to use the chapter marks within the actual video to figure out where your pile is. And there's also timestamps that you can click on down in the description below so that you can easily access the pile that is for you. So with all that said, we're going to go ahead and get started with pile 1. Hello group 1, if you've decided to choose this specific bookmark, then this is the pile for you. I'll go ahead and set your bookmark over here. And so today we're going to be using the charms, the Language of Flowers Oracle and the Sea Melodies deck, as well as the Modern Witch Tarot and the Watercolor Affirmations. But we're also going to be throwing in some of these words that I've kind of put together for you guys for this specific video. I did plan to laminate sort of them all, but that didn't really happen, so we're gonna have to do sort of a little mix here. So let's go ahead and get started. So What do you guys have going on for your week ahead, group 1? Group 1. We're looking for the week ahead for group 1, the week ahead for group 1. Oh my goodness, you got 3 cards that fell all together. So, let's see what this group message is. You have the High Priestess, the 5 of Pentacles, and the Chariot. So that's already the energy you have going on for your week ahead. Let's see what you have for the Language of Flowers Oracle. So group 1's week ahead, the week ahead for group 1. We're looking for the week ahead for group 1, the week ahead for group 1, the week ahead for group 1, the week ahead for group 1. All right, so you guys got Tiger Lily, security, choose the safe harbor for now. I already see a bit of that coming in with your 5 of Pentacles, so let's see some more information on the week. So group 1's week ahead, the week ahead for group 1, the week ahead for group 1, the week ahead for group 1. See what you guys have. Okay, so you also have here patience. The tide will come when it's ready. So already there's a bit of like safe harbor waiting energy alongside this Chariot. So I'm interested to see more. So group 1's week ahead, the week ahead for group 1, the week ahead for group 1. Okay. So you had a few fall. I'll just take the ones that came up. So you have breathe in a fresh new start and don't waste a today with a tomorrow. Which this card is just all about, living in the moment, and instead of like saying, oh, well, I'll do that tomorrow, and then tomorrow becomes the next day and the next day and the next day, and it becomes just this stacked on loop. Your week is all about just making the most of every single day, which is already good energy to have for a week. I'll go ahead and do these while we do the charms, so just stick around for those. All right, so you have this Tiger Lily and patience, which I was already talking about. So Tiger Lily, choose the safe route for now, and patience, the tide will come when it's ready. And you've got sort of the turtle spirit energy happening here. So turtles, they go slow, they take their time, and they'll get where they need to go in the time that is right. So again, with that patience, don't waste it today with the tomorrow, sort of that same energy of like, you could be stacking things on, but it's just make the most out of the time that you have, but be patient, because every single day also has to, it adds up over time. You can't do everything in one day. And the Chariot energy sort of has that, like, I'm going to go, like there's a go-getter energy to the Chariot, because as you can see, there's sort of a sometimes the Chariot has to do with making a decision. Like once you've made a decision on which way you want to go, then you can just move forward without any judgment or any reason why not to be moving. There's nothing that can get in your path and stop you. So you might be feeling like, I need to go ahead and just go forth on this energy, on this like joyride of the week. But there is sort of a caution here for the security, because you have the 5 of Pentacles and the Tiger Lily of security. Choose the safe harbor for now. So you could, just blast through the week, get it all done, make really quick, hasty decisions. But you could also maybe use more of your intuition on that, because the High Priestess is all about your intuition and let that like gut feeling in you that's saying like, hey, maybe we should wait this out. Maybe this is not the time. Choose the safer route. So this can have to do with traveling and with COVID and everything. So it might be just not the time to be going out or going to a certain party, or just because you want to do it doesn't mean that it's the right time. So it's that patient energy, but there's also a sense of security as well. So besides just like being sure to be safe this week in terms of COVID, but there's also the sense of choose the safe harbor for now in terms of finances. So you might be feeling a little spend happy this week, like you want to just spend money. and work towards spending on something that you're really excited for, something that maybe you've been waiting on for a while, maybe you've even been patient for a while and something you've been wanting to purchase. But this might not be the time to be doing it, because the Five of Pentacles can talk about like having financial lows or not enough money, or this might be cautioning you that this isn't the time to be spending all that money on certain things, and instead spend your time on the things that you want to create or the things that you're intuitively feeling or resonating with. Work more on the memories of every single day and the mindfulness that comes with every single day, instead of through financial possessions or materialistic themes in your life. So to stay secure in not only like your emotional state and in physical state in terms of your body, there's also just a sense of just being sure to be safe with your money this week. Be sure that, everything's good in your bank account. It wouldn't be a bad idea to check your bank account this week. Make sure everything's good. Just keep up on those kinds of things to make sure everything's sort of in order. Because I know personally, I hate looking at adulting sort of things, or things where I have to like budget and stuff like that. And I'll kind of procrastinate and wait and not really get anything done on some of that stuff. And because of that isn't really the most secure way to go about it. So that might be something that's resonating for you, but always use your intuition. There might be something that you're already seeing within these cards that is telling you something about this Five of Pentacles or the Chariot in terms of like where you are wanting to go with this Chariot energy, and is it the right time to be doing it, both materialistically and in a travel sense with COVID, because you also have not only patience and security, but you also have breathe in, a fresh new start. And every time I see the word breathe anymore, it makes me think of just making sure you're wearing a mask, making sure you're being safe. So I just feel like that's something I needed to drive home for you guys this week. But also just breathing in a fresh new start too can be more of that mindful energy, being mindful of your environment. If any of you guys practice meditation or mindfulness in that way, it's just really looking at the moment through all of your five senses. So what can you taste? What can you smell? What can you see in this present moment? What can you feel? Do you feel like, if you're outside, do you feel the sun on your skin? Do you feel the wind? Do you smell a campfire? Do you smell someone's perfume, a really nice rainy day? Something like that. I don't know, just be very present with your moment and your moments and memories throughout the week, because those are like the things that you really want to hone in on at the end of the week. Those are the things that are really going to stack up and be most memorable. We can try to buy happiness or try to buy things that are going to maybe feel like they're going to make us feel better, but really they're really just something to hold and not really something to experience. So this week is more about having those experiences, of the mindfulness of today. The other thing about the Five of Pentacles too is that even if you do end up, spending money, or that things aren't going as well in terms of finances or a job, in this sense, because this can also be just related to your career or a job sense, that there's like a church window in every single one of these, and a church can be a place of like refuge or a place to go when you need that help spiritually, but it can also represent like a friend's home where you could crash, or possibly even like a community that you can gather around. Because what also is talking about with the Five of Pentacles is someone else is in the same position as you somewhere. So if you aren't in a job right now, or you don't have a job or a very stable place financially, someone else either around you or in your community or someone online can understand you. You're not alone in this world. There's always someone there who feels the same way as you, and you can sort of share those experiences to move forward and support each other together. So that can also be a theme that could be helpful for you this month. Or this week, sorry, not the entire month. But let's go ahead and move on to your charms, group 1, because I'm interested to see what you have. All right, so let's see these charms. So group one, we're looking for the charms for the week ahead for group 1. Any insight, guidance, or energy coming in for group 1 the week ahead. Week ahead, week ahead. Okay. So you guys have a few different ones here. I'm just going to pick up the ones that fell. As always, upside down, because that's how I tend to read the charms. But we'll see kind of what you have going on. Okay. I'm also going to pull you guys right over here, since we have a bit of room, a couple of these words to kind of make different sentences and see what you have for that. For group 1's week ahead, the week ahead for group 1, the week ahead for group 1. Okay. So, you guys have the words. Dropping one. You guys have the words courage, delicate, journey, kindness, note, dance, and surprises. So feel free to pause now if you'd like, and you can figure out maybe how these make a sentence or how they sort of correlate for you in your specific week. So make sentences, add different words like as and I where you need to. But it would be interesting if you guys let me know down in the comments below if these made specific sentences for you or certain words really spoke to you. I'd love to know. I'd love to hear how these work. Since this is the first time I'm kind of using them in a video, but I'm going to go ahead and set them down here for you. And then we can zoom in so you can see them a little bit better. Okay, so there we are for your charms and words group 1. So first off, I'm already seeing courage and courage. I know this isn't in your focus ring, but you do have a sense of courage this week, courage to get through anything that you can possibly face, because you have the courage of the lion spirit, and then you also have courage here showcased again. So that could be courage in terms of your journey, in terms of maybe the surprises that hit you, in terms of finances and everything like that. But there is a sense of being kind to yourself, being kind to others around you, possibly being kind to someone who's maybe in the same place as you are. Also in your center here, you have I always think of this either as a young child, or it can represent pets of any form. Doesn't have to be dogs. It can be cats, birds, horses, anything really that you have, or a smaller, younger child, someone with that young spirit that animals sometimes have. So that's in your center here. You also have so this is sort of like an innocent energy, right? Because our pets are very innocent, very young, very, and some of them feel more wise, but they can have that young spirit to them. And then on top of that, you have the bubbles. I think of this as like little bubbles that, for me, every Easter we got out bubbles, so it makes me think of spring as well. But it's like your innocence, your inner child, playful energy. So there's a sense of being playful this week. Again, more mindfulness, because when you think of being a child, you don't think about all those crazy financial things that are happening in the background. You just enjoy the moment. You enjoy what's happening in the moment. You're not focusing on all the things that tie you down or hold you back. You're just focusing on those lovely little bubbles, those little small things. And then, things can just sort of wash away that stress. There's also a sense of transforming this week, can be transforming your specific situation or something like that. But I'm also seeing that note energy from this, because I use these as little notes each day. It's kind of dirty now because it's been with my charms, but you would open up this little piece of paper, and inside there'd be a note. So you have both surprises and notes. So you might be getting a letter or some sort of package, or something in the mail, something like that might be coming in. It also could be something less literal, so it could be just surprises and notes in terms of like your phone notes or someone sending you notes through your phone. So that's something to just look out for this week. You also again have that courage, but you also have 7, and the number 7 might just be something relative to you specifically. It's also the month of July right now with this specific time that I'm posting this, but it can also represent a different time of year for you guys if you are watching this in the future. But you also have 7, which makes me think of introspection. It's thinking more inside, looking deep into yourself. So you might be introspecting or thinking about old memories. There's sort of a nostalgia element to this specific week for you. And you also have the letter S here. So there might be something related to an S or a memory or someone sending you a note that has to do with an S. So that's something to keep in mind in terms of letters and numbers. Over here you have sort of a link. I think of these as linking or holding something together. And then you have finances. So there's something financially linked to or holding you together, something that is held together. And like I was saying, this is about community or things, people in your community that you can sort of get on the same side with and sort of relate to. And that this specific charm is like of the 10 commandments, but I also just see them just based off of what they say. So thou shalt not bear false witness. Oh my gosh, words. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. And so it's talking about neighbors again. And like, sometimes we can get in our minds that only we feel this way, and we don't realize that the people that are right next to us could be feeling the exact same way as us, or going through a similar situation, or have previously gone through a similar situation. So it's always important to be kind and delicate to other people, to realize that every single person right now is going through their own specific battle. One specific thing, if not more, that they're having to battle and try to work through and look at and introspect through. And, life isn't easy for anyone at any particular moment. There's always something that can be improved upon. And so you might be feeling down financially, but someone else might be feeling down for something else. And it's important to be kind to other people. Even if you're going through something hard, you can, instead of finding a way to create a separation, it's more important to be sure to create community out of that. We can create community through our pain or through our hard experiences or our struggles. So that's just something to keep in mind this week in terms of communicating with your community. There's also a sense of, around this specific part of the moon cycle, which is more on the wane, which is sort of releasing and introspective energy of the moon, you have creativity. So you might be just thinking again about memories or old things where you were creative, or old creative projects this week. Those might just be kind of tumbling around in your brain, and maybe you're even deciding on if you will or if you won't, intuitively want to pursue those things with this Chariot energy. And lastly here, group 1, you have these 2 charms. So you have the Tower charm or the Persistence charm. I see them as both, but I see more like the Tower charm / it's kind of like manipulated metal, right? So things that have kind of manipulated you or put you in a certain situation. And this I think of as like a string of pearls making this heart. And so sometimes we have people in our lives that are looking out for us on a real deep level, and some of us are looking more materialistically, keep up with the Joneses sort of vibe. So you might just be realizing this week who's actually supporting you, and if they're supporting you emotionally and for your highest good, and who's supporting you possibly even romantically that aren't really there for your true feelings, but maybe are there for your finances or what you can bring to the game, because you have a really awesome high-paying job or something like that. So just make sure there's not any shallow feelings between you and someone else. So with all of that said, I'm just going to go ahead and recap for you group 1. So you guys, it's all about security, patience, turtle spirit this week, being mindful, and then breathing in that fresh new start. So just, again, more of those 5 senses. It'd be really good to meditate on your day and be mindful through your 5 different senses. There's also a bit of a creative spirit and wanting to move forward in something, but you're kind of deciding which way you want to go. So use your intuition on that, use your spiritual sense on that, your gut feelings to figure out where you want to go with this Chariot energy, and just in general, like who maybe is there for you and who isn't supporting you. And this card is like really just speaking to me the most with patience and security here, that I just feel like you guys, your whole thing is about having the courage to speak up to those in your community and to those who are struggling as well, and to just be really honest and raw with those people, because you're going to create connections through that. And there's also just a sense of being a little bit more nostalgic, thinking about memories, introspection sort of energy happening this week with the bubbles and pet's charm. So I truly hope you guys have a wonderful week, and that you find that community within you and all of that lovely intuition that's coming in and mindful energy. I do wish that that comes in for you. Please let me know how you guys think about these specific words, if they resonate with you, if you found certain sentences or anything like that. I'd love to know, especially with some of the other ones like dance and journey. I'd like to know if those resonate with you or anything like that, or just in general the reading. It's really fun to have you guys chat down in the comments. I love to see what you guys have to say on the readings. Feel free to also give this video a like if you liked it. It lets me know that you enjoyed the reading as well, and supports this channel and me for further readings in the future. If you are interested in these types of magical readings, I do them every single Monday, as well as for these week ahead readings anyway. And I do timeless readings and fun other magical creative videos. So if you're interested in any of that, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified of each of my videos that come up, so you don't have to miss out. So with all of that said, I wish you guys the best week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye! Hello Group 2, if you've decided to choose this specific bookmark, then this is the pile for you. I'll go ahead and set your bookmark right here for you, carefully. And today we're going to be using the charms, as I always do, the Modern Witch Tarot, the Language of Flowers deck, the Sea Melodies deck, the Watercolor Oracle here, as well as kind of a fun twist. We're going to be using these words, like these specific words that we're going to play around with and maybe puzzle together some fun sentences with. I did plan to try to get them all laminated with like tape before this video, but it just kind of didn't happen. But I just sort of typed these out on my typewriter, and I thought it'd be kind of fun since I'm participating in a week-long readathon this week, and I thought, you know, how about if I'm going to be reading the whole week, why not add a little bit of fun with words? So yeah, with all of that rambling, let's go ahead and get started with your reading. All right, so what do you have going on for your week, Group 2? I hope you guys had a wonderful week last week. Let's see what you have going on this week. Group 2, we're looking for Group 2's week ahead, the week ahead for Group 2. What energy, insights, or guidance do we need to know about Group 2's week ahead? All right, so first off, you have the Queen of Swords, a more logical, sensible sort of energy here. Let's see what else you have. Group 2's week ahead, the week ahead for Group 2. Okay, you also have the Hanged One, so a change of perspective possibly. All right, so Group 2's week ahead, the week ahead for Group 2, the week ahead for Group 2, the week ahead for Group 2, the week ahead for Group 2. All right, here are your last two cards. Just set those back down there. And you have, another queen. So you have the queen. Oh my goodness. I just noticed that you have both the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. But when I picked them up, they were facing away from each other, which in a relationship can mean a bit of clashing, or it can also be a bit of clashing in terms of your inspiration this week. So we'll see what that's about with some more information. All right, so your Language of Flowers message here. So Group 2's week ahead, the week ahead for Group 2, the week ahead for Group 2. What energy, insights, or guidance do we need to know about Group 2's week ahead. The week ahead for group 2. The week ahead for group 2. Okay, so you have Bird of Paradise, self-acceptance. You are so much more. Okay. Almost see a growth happening there too, like your own personal growth. Let's see what else you have for your oracle here of Sea Melodies. So group 2's week ahead, the week ahead for group 2. Take this one here. You have rescue, help others in need, or ask for assistance when you need it. That's always important. Sometimes we can be a little stubborn and we don't actually ask for the help that we need, or other people have a hard time coming to us. So group 2's week ahead, the week ahead for group 2, the week ahead for group 2. Okay, one over here. Each petal makes the flower. So that's just taking everything one step at a time and realizing that each step that we take does create the whole flower, the blossom at the end. I also do plan to pull a couple of these for you guys, but I'm going to wait to do those until we have a little bit more space and with the charms. So I'm already seeing some relationship clashing here, some relationship clash, because there's sort of, if you have somebody in your life who's a fire sign or has a fiery spirit to them, and you possibly are a fire sign and have a fiery spirit to you, that can cause a bit of clashing. You could just be very inspired. There can be ideas coming in this week that maybe somebody isn't agreeing with. So one person's wanting to lead and the other person's trying to inspire, and it's just sort of becoming, a clash. Like, who's going to get the idea out faster? Who's going to get the better idea out? There's like a competitive sort of vibe here. And this can be like a platonic relationship as well as a romantic. So take it as whatever feels like it's resonating, if you feel like you know who this person is. But there is sort of like a competitive spirit, and sometimes competitive spirit isn't a bad thing. Sometimes it can create that clash, but you do have like the Queen of Swords here, and the Queen of Swords showcases like leadership in a different way. She will go about it more so in like a logical, sensible, practical kind of way. She'll tell you, the truth, the honest truth. And so sometimes we can get so wrapped up in our brain and all this inspiration and this courage and excitement, for like the game you're playing, or possibly just like projects that you're working on, that maybe there's so much that they're kind of clashing. Maybe you both are trying to work on something similar and clashing a little bit in what you want. But I think what's important for you is to keep a level head. So realize that like a competitive spirit can be helpful sometimes. We can have friendly competition, so you might be competing in a competition with someone. It could be like a game, like a board game. It could be something as simple as that, to like, I don't know, racing in a marathon or racing in something like that. Like you're competing in some way. And it can even be in a business sense. Like sometimes we compete on online contests that are happening. So there is a competitive spirit. I don't see it as being a bad thing. I think it's sort of, I almost see like, with the optimism that the Queen of Wands has, and they're both very kind of social. And then I think what's important is just to keep that level head this week and realize that like at the end of the day, if you don't win, then you did your best, you did what you needed to do, and that's all that really matters. And as long as you're communicating honestly with this person, you're not trying to like win dishonestly or anything like that, then you're doing well. I don't see any reason to be worried about this clashing. Sometimes energy just clashes, but it is important to communicate in an honest and fair way, in a just way. Something that might give you a leg up on this competition, though, or in general for this week outside of this competition or competitive nature, you do have the Hanged One. And the Hanged One is all about taking a rest in some ways, but this specific Hanged One, I always see it as like a change in perspective. So you're changing your perspective this week, and you're looking from a different lens. You're taking off certain glasses that maybe others have put on you, or, taking off your rose-colored glasses, maybe seeing things for what they are, changing your perspective. So it could be on this competitive spirit, or with this relationship with someone. Maybe you're seeing the truth of them or how that they work. But it also can just be for yourself, honestly, because I'm seeing a lot of self-reflection that's happening here with this Hanged One, because you have self-acceptance. You are so much more. So you might not be feeling like you could win, or you don't feel as like you've got enough spirit in you to win, or something like that, or you don't have the confidence there, but you clearly do, because I feel like you're this Queen of Wands, honestly. The Queen of Swords may have came out first, because that's giving me the sensible energy, but I feel like you're more of this Queen of Wands energy, because you've got this flower that you're holding, which makes me think of optimism, because it's a sunflower, but each petal makes the flower, right? So each part of you is special, each part of you. And I'm not just saying this as BS, oh, of course, everyone's special. No, we are all special in the fact that we bring something new to the table. Everyone has something unique about them that sometimes we get, literally our perspective gets, someone tells us we're not good enough because you're wearing this specific thing, or we're not good enough because we didn't do X, Y, and Z, or we didn't go to that college, or we didn't get that degree, or we didn't get something that society says that we need, or our parents, or something like that, some sort of energy that you've sort of held on to, these beliefs that are not really true about yourself, and you're kind of flipping that. You're seeing the other side of the coin of that, and you're realizing I'm pretty dang awesome, There's really great qualities to me, and you're accepting both your flaws and your positive, unique attributes, and that's awesome. And in doing so, I feel like you're rescuing yourself, possibly. So if you feel like you've been kind of down lately, or down on yourself in your appearance or who you are, I think you're going to be diving into the truth, and you might be surprised that the truth isn't exactly a bad thing. Sometimes we can look into the truth and it can be hard to accept, but in this case, I think you're going to accept those flaws about yourself. You're going to be okay, this is who I am, this is what I have, this is my body, and it provides for me, this is how my brain works, this is how things are, this is how I work, and then you're going to work towards working on those flaws to make yourself better in the ways that you particularly want to, not necessarily because someone else asked you to. That might be even that clashing energy there, because you might be sort of clashing with someone's belief of you and seeing the truth in them too. But there's also the rescue element in helping others. So you might be giving back to others this week, giving back in some way, possibly being more charitable, or donating, or giving your time to somebody's business, or possibly just being someone's, shoulder for the week. And it's always important, especially if you're going through these journeys of self-reflection and looking inward and possibly just seeing yourself from a different perspective, to then outwardly bring out that confidence that comes from that and use it in some way. And for you, I think you're going to be using it to help other people who are possibly feeling down as well, so that's already really great. And I'm really psyched for you guys to see that you guys, we're all pretty dang awesome. So just sort of evaluate those relationships, evaluate these competitions, this competitive nature. If this is a romantic relationship, see if it's healthy. Is it not healthy? Where are things going? And where do you want this relationship to go? And then if it's a platonic relationship, sometimes we have people in our community or other people telling us who we need to be or what we are to give us worth, and you are giving yourself your own worth this week. You're giving yourself the acceptance to be this is just who I am, and bring that confidence in. So that's super awesome. Very healing week. I'm excited to see what you guys have for your charms. So let's go ahead and move on over to those. But also I forgot to mention too, with these two king and queens, just because they're not facing each other necessarily, there is a sense of inspiration too this week. So you might be feeling inspired to start up a new project, or start up something possibly more charitable in some way, maybe community based too. That could be happening this week as well. So I just thought I'd bring that out before I forgot. All right, so let's look at your charms, group 2. So group 2's a week ahead, the week ahead for group 2, the week ahead for group 2, the week ahead, the week ahead, group 2, group 2. Okay, so I'm just dropping some of the ones on the outside to see if they actually were meant to be on the board, and it seems like there was a sense of that. So let's see what you have here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and also pull you a few of these before I speak on all of your different charms. I'll just put them over here. So group 2's a week ahead. We're looking for the week ahead for group 2. What do we need to know about group 2's week ahead? Okay. So the ones that you got are craving, balance, brave, purity, focus, heal. And I was already saying it was sort of a healing week. And then lastly, calm. So also with the hanged one here, oops, I can't hold them all with one hand. With the hanged one, there is a sense of calm too, like a sense of like being at one with yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys just look at those. Feel free to pause the video and look at each of them, maybe make sentences or figure out like what order these are for you specifically. Like it could be fun to see like them in different orders. Just play around with them. Possibly it could be really interesting and fun results. And I'd love to know down in the comments below if you did create any sentences or anything like was really resonating specifically with you. I'd love to know. So feel free to let me know in the comments down below. But I'll go ahead and set those there and we can talk about what you have going on in your focus ring for your charms here. So first off, in the focus ring, I'm already seeing more of that like kind rescue energy, right? That I was talking about before, like where you find that self-acceptance in yourself, and in doing so, you communicate with other people about your self-acceptance, and that just creates this community and this like charitable kind energy, because you have like other people. This makes me think of community or other people or like, you know, it's a piece of the puzzle in a way. And then on top of that, you have the friendship. I think of this as friendship and kindness, you know, having that warm heart for someone, being very kind and gentle and self-accepting. So this can be even just handing out a kindness to yourself, being kind to yourself, but it can also be that you're like rescuing someone else who needed your help, possibly a friend you're already helping this week, or in previous weeks. So that's definitely an energy that's really important this week, is to help out someone who really needs that help. Maybe they've been reaching out and they needed that hand to hold, a shoulder to cry on kind of energy, and they feel really safe around you. There's also a sense of being safe, because this is the thimble charm, you know, and it's to keep us safe from sharp objects. But what's interesting is you have the like needle almost, right? So you have the sharp charm. So you're being safe, you're keeping yourself safe, and you're keeping others safe. But there was something over here that you're having to kind of keep yourself safe from. And what's interesting is you had that clashing, right? You had the clashing of both the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. And they're sort of clashing, right? Back to back. And you have more of that sacral, fiery, creative, inspired energy that could be clashing. Like your ideas just aren't meshing together. And so again, more of that clashing energy. So you're having to sort of protect yourself so you can work on something else this week, more of a healing energy, where somebody might be like trying to force you into this competition, or even if you wanted to be a part of the competition in a more friendly way, that could be happening. But it definitely is something you have to sort of keep safe with, in terms of like, some of us, even if it's a friendly competition, you still have to make sure to keep that level head that I was talking about earlier. But because you got the sacral chakra, I'm going to go ahead and pull all the sacral chakra cards out of the Chakra Love deck and see what that message is for you specifically. Alright, so I got all the different sacral chakra cards out, and I'm going to go ahead and pull you guys one for your week. So we're looking for the week ahead for group 1. Week ahead for group 1, what needs balancing, or what are we trying to hold? What are they trying to work through this week in terms of their sacral chakra? Okay, so you have journey. So sacral chakra, red adventurine. So if you work with different chakras, stones, red adventurine could be really important for you, possibly even orange adventurine. But you have journey, to enjoy the journey, let go of the outcome. So again, that's more of that energy I was already talking about, where you might be feeling, sometimes people can get so caught up in a competition that you don't keep that level head, and you can kind of have a sore winner, sore loser sort of vibe. So maybe one of you guys you're just going to have to communicate and create a compromise this week on, if this isn't an actual competition that you're a part of, or a game of some sort, like in a board game or whatever. If that's not resonating with you, then if it's more of like you're trying to get your ideas out there on a situation or a project or something like that, it just might mean that you have to agree to disagree, or just come up with a compromise, a middle ground for you too, so you both can be kind of happy and just let go of the outcome. Like, the outcome isn't as important as the journey, because we can get to our destination, but is the destination as important as the journey? So that's what they're kind of trying to get at here for you. So you also have the rose-colored glasses and the rock charm. So you need to sort of take those glasses off, right? Those things that have sort of been holding you back. And I was talking about those rose-colored glasses earlier with the hanged one card, because this is gaining a new perspective. So you had these glasses on, and now you're taking them off. You're seeing things clearly. You're seeing yourself clearly, and you're solidifying that in your mind, because this is the charm of, personally, I see it as a charm for my dad, because he's the rock in my life, and the rock in a lot of my family's life. But this also can just represent that rock in your life. So it's time for you to be your own rock. It's time for you to, and it can be confiding in someone as well who is your rock, but I do see like you're finding those foundations about yourself, and you're fighting and taking off those glasses that other people have just been putting on you and putting on you and putting on you, and now you get to see things clearly for what they really are and the truth of that. And I think some people can see that as being like scary, but I think it's going to be really good for you, right? Let go of the outcome and just enjoy the journey of who you are. Self-accept that you, or have that self-acceptance to grow and to heal and to balance and purify and give that bravery and calmness. Like, a lot of your words just make a lot of sense. So you also have here, I see this as the black hole, and that doesn't sound very great. Sometimes it can mean like depression or those narrative thoughts that we have in our mind that sort of tell us who we are. And since I already feel like you're taking off those glasses, taking off that energy, that peace of mind is coming in. You can see yourself clearly and be like, you can have that peace of mind that can start to come in, that calm energy, because this is the worry stone as well. So I just see you guys finding a calm energy that happens when you take off these glasses, and that's so exciting. Lastly, here you have the charm of the doodly heart. So this can represent a crush. So there's nothing really related to it here, but it could be possibly a crush that you are talking about, or a friendship, or it can just be something like that, an emotional energy. Someone's on your mind where you feel like you need to be doodling about them or writing their name, something like that. So that could just be an energy that's coming in too, but there's not really a lot talking about it, so I don't feel like it's going to be super important this specific week for you. It's more about your own self-acceptance and your own journey that you're going on right now, for like a journey of healing and purity and balance, and that's so exciting. So let's go ahead and do your recap for your specific reading group 2 for your week. So there is a sense of being sensible, being truthful and honest, that purity that comes in this week on a situation with this clashing energy of inspiration, this clashing energy that's happening, or possibly a friendly competition that's happening. Whichever one is resonating for you is coming in. There is also majorly sort of helping others through going through your own self-acceptance. You can now help others or resonate with others, or through your pain you can connect with others this week because you're self-accepting yourself. You are so much more. So you're more than your flaws. You're more than what other people are putting on you. You're taking off these rose-colored glasses and you're going on that journey of self-acceptance and healing to create peace of mind. You're also sheltering other people and giving that rescue that they need, especially within your friendships and friends that you have, and that each petal makes the flower. So this one, again, is just more that every step that you take is one step forward, and all of those steps combined create the flower, the blossom at the end. Alright, so that's all I have for you, group 2. Please let me know down in the comments below if any of these were resonating with you, or if you made any cool sentences or anything like that. I'd really love to know. I love having these little conversations down in the comments with you guys, and I'd love to know what your guys' thoughts are on these fun words and stuff that we could play around with in other videos. I just realized I never zoomed in for you guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, so here's the zoom in. Feel free to pause the video if you need to. I haven't done that before, so I'm so sorry for you guys for group 2. This is the zoom in. This is what it looks like. But thank you so much for participating in this reading and having a lot of fun. I enjoyed just reading for you guys today. Again, let me know in the comments down below, and feel free to give this video a like if you did like it, if you enjoyed the reading. It does really let me know, and it supports my channel and moves this channel forward, so I'm really excited about that and growing this community. So thank you for everyone who puts a like out there for me or any comments. I really do appreciate it. And lastly, if you enjoy these types of weekly readings, I put them out every single Monday, as well as other timeless readings. I use charms and other kinds of magical creative videos, so feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of each of those videos and stay up to date. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and bye! Hello, Group 3! If you've decided to choose this specific bookmark, then this is the pile for you. I'll go ahead and set that down over here so you guys can see it. Today we're going to be using the charms, the watercolor oracle cards, and affirmations, as well as the Language of Flowers and Sea Melodies deck. We're also using the Modern Witch Tarot today, and because I am participating in a week-long readathon with the Reading Rush, I decided I thought it'd be kind of fun to throw in these words and elements and stuff, so we're going to play around with these, see if we can make any fun sentences or just in general. So I got my typewriter out and just sort of typed these up. I did plan to try to get them laminated before the video, but it just didn't happen. So instead we're going to have them more loose, which is just as fun, honestly, and probably won't glare as much. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and get started on your week. I'm really excited for the fun bookish elements, and I hope that you guys are having a wonderful week. I'm probably reading my brains off right now by the time you guys start watching this video, but let's go ahead and see what you have going on for your week. Group 3. We're looking for the week ahead for Group 3. What energy, what insights, and guidance do you have coming in for your week ahead of Group 3? Group 3's week ahead, the week ahead for Group 3. We're looking for Group 3's week ahead, the week ahead for Group 3. This one kind of bent. So we have the 7 of Cups here for you. The week ahead for Group 3, the week ahead for Group 3. We're looking for the week ahead for Group 3. the week ahead for group 3. Okay, so the 7 of Wands. So you have 2 sevens there, 7 of Cups and the 7 of Wands. So an introspective sort of energy there. So that's what I read sevens as. And then you have here the 6 of Cups. So you have 6s and 7s. 6s represent more of a harmonious energy. And then you have 7s, which represent more introspection, looking into yourself, and then how that works outwardly. So let's see what else you have going on for your week, group 3. So group 3's week ahead, the week ahead for group 3, the week ahead for group 3. So any energy, insights, or guidance for the week ahead for group 3. Okay, here you have Sunflower. Assertiveness. Rise up, stand stronger, and true. Because sunflowers can grow to be so tall. They're very optimistic flowers. They look for the sun, and they know and are very clear and direct sort of flowers, because with a sunflower they follow the sun, which is why you get the optimistic sort of element, because you're always following the sun, the positivity, but it also is very assertive. They are very direct in what they want. So that I'm already seeing a bit with the 7 of Wands, but let's see what else you have going on with your seed melodies card there. So you have flow. Let your worries drift away. So you have this little sailboat. It's a little paper sailboat. Very cute. And then you also have your watercolor affirmation here. So group 3's week ahead. The week ahead for group 3. The week ahead for group 3. The week ahead. The week ahead for group 3. Oh, I just realized one had fallen. I had my eyes closed while I was doing that, so I didn't even hear it fall. Honesty is the best policy. So being honest, being fair, being just, and being sort of more honest in your communication this week. So I will pull you guys a few of these, but I'm going to pull them after we've done the charms. So wait and stay tuned for those. So I'm going to go ahead and address this 7 of Cups first, because I feel like they relate mostly to the 7 of Wands. They're very related in this assertive sense and letting your worries drift away. So the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups is about head in the clouds energy and knowing or not knowing what you want, right? So we have like romance and like there's all these different things in these cups, all these different things you could have: advocacy, money, romance, what else is there? Snake. Like there's all these different kinds of journeys and different emotional cups that you could be taking, but in this sense, you don't know which one to take. So it's indecisive energy. You don't know what you want. You don't know where you want to go. You know you have a lot of options. You know you have potential, but where do you want to put your energy this week? So there is a bit of bouncing around, sort of confusion and indecisiveness that's happening. And because of that, I feel like some people might be pressuring you or telling you that this is, you should choose this cup, or you should choose that cup, or you should, be doing something or like there's no reason to be waiting to figure out what you want to do, because some people might be telling you off or telling you those sorts of things, because you have the 7 of Wands, which represents a lot of people sort of putting their 2 cents in and you having to defend yourself. So instead of responding to what they have to say, you're sort of reacting. You're like, I don't want that. You're defensive. So not only are you being kind of decisive, where you can't really choose, you're not really sure what you want, you're being indecisive. That's what I'm trying to say, indecisive. You also kind of have that defensive energy. So both of those are sort of happening, and because of that, you're not able to sort of release or let go, because you're having to be assertive. You're having to tell people off. So it says, rise up, stand stronger and true. So you're trying to stand up on your own 2 feet. You're trying to be assertive and clarify what you want, but you're not sure what that is yet. Sometimes it's hard to be assertive about what you want when you're still trying to figure it out. So you kind of have those two energies playing around with each other. So part of it is some people are like trying to pressure you into making a decision, and then you're like, I'm not really there yet. I haven't decided. I don't know what I want. So this week is more about figuring that out for yourself and not for the other people who are trying to bully you or push you into a certain situation, or to make an answer, or to have some sort of plan in mind. This is about what you want, not what they want. So be assertive, tell them, you're still figuring it out, and they're going to have to wait, right? Like no matter what they say, it's still up to you to decide where you're going to go. So again, honesty is the best policy. So just be honest with them. Tell them truthfully, like, I don't know what I'm doing yet, and that's okay. And if they don't accept that, then that's okay, right? Like just be assertive and stand up and be who you are in that moment. And that is, you're still figuring it out. It's totally okay to take that time for yourself. We get so pressured by society to move forward and get this done, move to that, get that job, move to that, have babies, do this all the way until the end. And it's like, yes, there may be this great plan, but it's just 1 week. Let some of your worries drift away. It's not about getting things done this week. It's more about just introspectively looking in. You're going to make this decision eventually, but it's not about making a decision right now. So this could be based off love. This could be a decision about finances. It could be a decision about where you want to go in life, or what you want to do about a specific situation in any of these sorts of things that are coming up. It can be anything that has sort of an emotional element to it, because cups represent our emotions. I just see you introspectively looking in. You'll make that decision, but it probably won't happen this week. You probably won't be making that decision this week, or if you do, it will be towards the end of the week. So it's more about letting your worries drift away this week and just sort of silencing your mind so you can make a decision. Because if we have so much jumbling in our minds, if we have so much just monkey mind kind of going on, you're not able to let it flow. You're not able to make those pros and cons lists, to make those decisions. So it's time to let things flow, let things move as they need to, and in their time, right? So try not to let yourself feel too pressured by them. Try not to feel like you have to make a decision for someone else. This is for you. This is your time. So let your worries drift away. Just let it kind of flow and melt off of you. Sometimes it can even be helpful for me to just literally shake my body to feel like you just get that junk off of you energetically, so you kind of can feel a little bit better. So I think to help you let your worries drift away, you're going to be kind of nostalgic this week, because this is the nostalgic card to me. So you have the 6 of Cups, which is giving back to your past self, or looking back at past memories, reflecting on the past. So this could be reflecting on your past mistakes or your past wins and successes, to kind of make a decision on where you want to go or what you want to do. Being honest with yourself, being honest with who your true inner child wants, what your true soul mission is, being honest so you can figure out where you want to go. So it's not what everybody else is telling you, what random people are saying, or family members or friends are trying to pressure you into doing. This is what you truly want. And maybe you don't know what that is right now, but once you look deeper into yourself, you can find some of those answers. So be honest with yourself, maybe dive a little bit deeper, look at old memories, possibly look at old videos or anything like that, because that is where you're going to find that flow. That's where things are going to connect. That's where you're going to be like, oh, I had that childhood dream I never went after because so-and-so said I wasn't good enough, or said I couldn't do that, or it wasn't the right time, or something like that. So this could be a really big decision, but it could be something really small, something just based on the week. But either way, just looking at past memories and stuff like that can be helpful in just letting your worries drift away and helping you to make a decision that is specifically for you and your highest good and what your soul really wants. There also is a sense with the 6 of Cups too, is giving back to those that are younger than us. So giving wisdom or passing on knowledge or something like that, some sort of energy like that. So if you have children or nieces, nephews, younger people in your life, this is the time to give back to them, give knowledge to them, give life learning lessons to them. and sort of some of that energy, but be sure that you're not doing it in a pressuring way, like some of these people that might be around you trying to make you feel like you have to do a certain thing. Be more kind about it. And I think that that's going to be more helpful. Possibly sharing stories, honest stories about yourself or memories about yourself can help you make that decision when you're talking to someone else. Sometimes you can have that like aha moment while you're having those conversations. So that's really exciting. That's good energy to have. And let's go ahead and see what you have going on for your charms group 3. Because you already have sort of, not really a complicated week, but just sort of like you have to be assertive. Really put your foot where, don't let anybody put their ideas in your head. Let them be your own and be authentic to you, honestly, what you want. All right, so let's go ahead and do your charms group 3. So group 3's week ahead. We're looking for the week ahead for group 3. The week ahead for group 3. Any energy, insights, or guidance that's coming in for group 3's week ahead. So the week ahead. Okay, so a couple of them fell all over my lap, so I'm going to pick a few of those up real quick. And we'll go ahead and drop those to see if they were meant for the board, which a couple of them were. So I'm going to go ahead and put together what needs to be in the center and what was more towards the side for you. Just sort of organize the board and make a little bit more sense for you. So before I go ahead and zoom in and look at each of these charms individually, let's go ahead and pull you a few of these words. I'm really excited to see what you guys get. These have been really fun so far to do for the other groups, so let's see what you get for group 3. Group 3's week ahead, the week ahead for group 3. We're looking for the week ahead for group 3. Any messages for the week ahead for group 3? Okay. So, pick up a couple of these. So you have town, power, heavy, adventure, and invest. Wow, did these not hit you right? Like, these just like make so much sense to me, because it could be a hometown or, preconceived people who are like telling you what you should or shouldn't be doing, possibly things that happened in your old hometown, like childhood stuff, like I was talking with your inner child. There's power. So, dominance of power, those sorts of things, and that they can be sort of heavy on your mind, where you want to invest your time with that 7 of Cups energy. And then you have adventure. Where do you want to invest in your adventure? So that's what I am personally seeing, but feel free to pause the video, look at each of these, see if you can make sentences. Feel free to add I's and as's and those sorts of like conjunction words. But see what you can kind of create from this. And I'd love to know down in the comments below if these are resonating with you. I'd love to know what sentences you create or anything like that. It'd be really interesting since I'm just starting to use these, and I'd love to know if you guys would like me to use them again in the future. So again, that's heavy, adventure, power, town, and invest. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in so you can have a better look at all of the different charms and words. Might have zoomed you in a little too close, so we're going to go back a little bit. There we go. So here in your center, you have the silver lining charm. So I think of this as a silver lining, something that, you find as a silver lining, which is just like that highlight or that thing that keeps you going, that thing that's gonna uplift you. It's your silver lining. It's the the light in your life that you need. So there is going to be a silver lining if you're feeling a little bit down or feeling like things just aren't flowing or those worries aren't drifting away. Then those younger people in your life might be that lifeline for you. They may be that silver lining. And if it's not that, then it's looking at old memories, taking that time to be nostalgic, be a little playful this week, to play around, be a little adventurous, let some of that heaviness flow right off of you. Like I was talking about, literally shake it off of you. I think that's going to be your silver lining this week. You also have the sense of financial security, because right here we have the security or the safety pins. You feel safe in your finances this week, which is great. You also have the courageous, you have Aries energy, which says courageous on the back. So that could be about your energy in terms of this adventure that we got in your words, but it can just be that silver lining, that person that's a silver lining, either you or a younger person in your life could be an Aries, either in their moon, rising, or sun sign. So that's really interesting, and I truly do hope that those people are really there for you and you can be there for them, and that can be a really lovely emotional exchange in terms of creating that flow in your life. You also have the sacral chakra, so I'm going to go ahead and pull you a sacral chakra card from the Chakra Love deck, and conveniently the other group also had the sacral chakra, so I'm just going to take those right off the top there and pull you a sacral chakra card. So group three, we're looking for group 3's week ahead, the week ahead for group 3. What do we need to know about group 3's week ahead? Apparently 2 things. So you have both creation, which says the flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth. So again, sometimes all of that destructive energy that can come from other people can create that rebirth in you, that time to be like, hey, no, this is not what's going to happen anymore. Be assertive. And when you do, that's when you get to invest in yourself again and figure out what adventure you really want to take. So that's already exciting. And then for your second card, you have passion. So it says passion, turn your fear of change into excitement for change or into excitement for your future. So if you do work with stones, then you have the tiger's eye here, which conveniently I actually do have a tiger's eye not too far away here on my table. So tiger's eye could be really helpful for your week in terms of balancing the sacral chakra to create that assertiveness for you. So if you work with crystals, that could be really helpful. And then the other crystal that they showcase here is fire agate. So that's also a really beautiful, beautiful smoky sort of stone. So both of those could be really helpful. The sacral chakra is located right above your belly button. It's an energy center that can help with your gut health and stuff like that. But it also represents, right below your belly button, not above it. But it also can talk about like the root of your being and the creative, playful side about you. So like I was talking before, it's sort of that like fun, energetic energy. So I think you're getting back to that those playful roots to create that flow, right? So this is sort of your roots. I think of this as grounding energy. And then you have the self-love charm. So I think you're giving back to your younger, innocent sort of self, having that nostalgia come in, giving back to yourself through the eyes of the younger ones around you could be really, really helpful in figuring out like, what do you want? So you might be wanting to work with children possibly, or it could just be in general, like by unlocking those memories, you're going to find the answer that you need when you let those things flow, when you let everything flow and work at its own pace. And the reason why I talk about your own pace too is because you have the clothespin charm, which is like when you're waiting for clothes to dry on a clothesline. So it's time to pin things up, let them sit, get some distance from them, and then that's when you can make those decisions, because you might just be feeling a little too close to it, a little too defensive about it. It's too in your mind all the time to make a decision on what you really want. You also have here the thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor charm. So these were from the commandments and stuff, the 10 commandments, but it also makes me think of like this scene that's happening here, right? So there's a little girl who's really upset and they weren't being very kind to their neighbor, not being very kind to their friends and everything. So it's just being kind to those that are around you, especially since, again, there's more of that like wisdom that's coming in, right? Because we had where I was talking about giving back through wisdom by being honest about your past mistakes, being honest about your flaws, and in doing so, you can help with the generation after you. So that might be happening for you this week in terms of that, because you also have like a parent, right? And then 2 younger children, and they're sort of going through something, and maybe you're giving your wisdom, your 2 cents to help them through that. And the reason why I feel like that's connected is because you have that honesty, a lot of blue energy, more hearts energy. This one I think of like the Ace of Cups sort of in a way. And then you have the worry stone, but this also can represent water for me. So I see more flowing energy. So again, more flow through these old memories. I know I sort of am kind of repeating myself, but I just think it's really important for you to get that flow through giving back to the next generation, or giving back to that wisdom that comes from the experiences that you've had in life. And when you pin that up and you get to see it from a farther distance or through the eyes of someone who's younger, that might be really helpful for you to make these decisions, or just in general a very healing thing to do. You also have, lastly here, the cloudy weather charm. So it can be literally cloudy weather this week for you, but it also can mean that you're feeling a little under the weather, or, just sort of trying to figure out things. Things are feeling a little cloudy, which, we were already talking about with the 7 of Cups. Things are feeling a little cloudy. You're literally head in the clouds. So I see that energy there. But you also have where you're feeling a little tied down to it. And that might be related to those people that you're feeling defensive of, or like you're having to defend and be assertive about. That might be why you're feeling a little clouded. And one of those people or groups of people could be related to the letter U here. So I don't know if it will focus, but there you go. The letter U. I also think of this as the universe, but that's just me. So there you go. That is the letter that you had. And then lastly here too, you also have on the full moon, which is all about manifestation and seeing things possibly with illusion, but also like within a more emotional perspective. So you have the materialistic heart. I think of this as like a bunch of pearls put together to create a heart. So sometimes it can be very shallow energy, people who don't really have your needs in mind. So I think you're just gaining, you're sort of pushing away those clouds like I was talking about, because the full moon can represent illusion, and illusion on how we're feeling emotionally. So I think that you're just finding that clarity that you need. Your head is in the clouds, but you're going to find that clarity, that flow. So let's go ahead and do your recap here for you, group 3. It seems that you have the sacral chakra. It's very prevalent for you, group 3. Using tiger's eye or fire agate could be really helpful for you this week. You also have creation and passion, so just changing things around, turning those fears back into positive energy for yourself to move yourself forward and make these decisions. If someone is pressuring you this week, if you're feeling tied down to it, that cloudy weather feeling, or they're trying to just put their 2 cents in because of money or materialistic reasons, don't listen to them. They feel like they have the power over you, but that's not really true. You have the power at the end of the day about your whole life. You are the only one that actually is in control of your life. So let your decisions be your own, and let this just sort of like pin it up, look at it from a distance, look at it farther away. Don't have it fully on your mind. Let that sort of relax and flow, because that's when the decision and that energy of where you want to go is going to come in. That's where that like flowing energy is going to come in. So be assertive about what you want, in terms of like, even if that just means making up your mind over time, that's going to come in. You have the assertiveness, and then again, flow. Biggest message is just giving back to the younger youth is going to be your silver lining, possibly in Aries, and they're going to ground you and have that honesty come in with the stories that you tell. That's going to help you create that flow and create that decision that you want with the Seven of Cups eventually, probably past this week. So I feel like I spoke so much for you, for your group. But you guys just had a lot going on, and I really hope you guys have a wonderful week. If this was resonating with you and you enjoyed the reading, or you want to talk about these specific charms or these new words that I was using, anything like that, feel free to drop a comment down below and have a conversation down there. I'm loving so much the comments that you post. I try to reply to every single one of them, and I just have a lot of fun seeing your guys' input and how this is resonating with you. So if you feel like letting me know, drop a comment down below. Also, feel free to give this video a like if you felt like you liked this reading. It really does help the channel and lets me know that you enjoyed these types of videos. And lastly, if you're interested in these types of videos, I do week ahead readings every single Monday, so feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can see more of those videos as they come in. I'd love to have you guys here on the channel. We do lots of fun readings, monthly, weekly, all that kind of stuff. So I will see you guys in the next one. I'm sort of rambling now, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you, and bye.